Did I know that it was going to be a global experience? No. However, I have to say Nick's energy and his commitment to the idea, it had legs, and I knew it was going to take him further than just that one meeting in the basement. But we were all in the beginning stages of our startups, and it's funny to look back now and see how some startups kind of stay local and others just expand in a big way. I do remember when Nick told me he was going to take it global, and I thought, you are out of your mind.
Think back to really the transition. There was a decision moment with going from Feature Friday to what is now Founders Live, and it became clear that this was going to happen in other cities. People were asking about holding this event and this thing in other cities, and so I had to sit down and really think about and peer into the future and really look at what I wanted to do and what this vision could be. And it became clear that it was not going to be not only called Feature Friday, but it was going to be a much bigger venture. So I just opened a Google Doc and started writing. And my advice to any founder or soon-to-be entrepreneur founder that wants to build something is just start putting your thoughts down. Start recording your thoughts, your information, your ideas, whether that's a doc. Google Docs are easy. You just open up that thing and start typing, or hey, maybe it's voice memos, or notes on your device. Just open the Notes app and start taking notes. But point is, record this and put your thoughts down and start intelligently piecing things together. Ideation. And a simple Google Doc. You can see that it's, it was a brainstorm, and it was like writing things down. And I remember not only as you can see, that was back in, that was 2015, 2016, because Feature Friday started in 2014, but then it became clear in that kind of year to 2 years after I launched that this thing needed to shift, change, and grow. And I get goosebumps when I look at that doc. That was the first thing. That's like a historical piece of content that started something that has now spread all around the world, that influences and inspires people all over the world, that moves and changes lives literally on every continent. And you too can do the same thing. This is part of this show, is to help you understand that I'm no different and better than you. You all have a talent in some way. You all are great in some way. And it just takes time to find that. But the only way I feel to find that is to go through the motions. Kind of like exercise. You just got to put on the shoes. You got to get outside. You need to move. And same thing with innovation and creativity and entrepreneurship, is you have to put in the practice. You have to just start the movement. And so I encourage all of you to find your greatness, to take the steps initially. It's just one foot in front of the other, and you're going to see great things come from that.
Going into that first event, I had only been out on my own as an entrepreneur for maybe 2 months or so. My business coach introduced me to Nick, and within 1 week I was pitching. That was, again, very nerve-wracking, but after that, what was great was I had always attended startup events and pitch events and startup weekends and things like that, and they were primarily pretty stuffy, like subdued, but maybe it was just the natural layout of the building that we were in, but it had a vibrant kind of club-like vibe, and it was exciting. There was music, and at that time it was still in its earlier stages, not infancy, but earlier stages, but we still had maybe 100 people, and the energy was wonderful. So coming out of that, I walked away feeling relieved of the pitch being done and excited to show up for the second one and to support other companies.
I just wanted to get involved with the energy of being an entrepreneur. I figured if I was going to leap off and become an entrepreneur, I might as well really learn about it. I think what's funny is that I always said I would never be an entrepreneur. In fact, I even broke up with the love of my life because he wanted to be an entrepreneur. And so when I did it, I figured, I better find some other people around me because I didn't know anybody who was. So going to Founders Live was one of my opportunities to be able to really experience and meet other entrepreneurs. And I was blown away from the get-go because even though it was like in a basement and you rode an elevator down into this space where it first started, when you walked in, you were hit immediately with this energy, like a different kind of energy than you'd ever experienced at other kind of events. And this was like small and it was kind of getting going. It wasn't something that was established really. So this idea of being able to pitch your company in 99 seconds was it was very novel. And I remember going in and the first thing you just the whole experience of going to Founders Live, it felt like being in what you thought a startup should be like. There was a mess of food trays that were all empty. There was red Solo cups and beer and big huge jugs or boxes of wine. And so it just felt like that space that startup companies live in. I always tell people when I talk about Founders Live, I say that it has a palpable energy to it when you walk in the room. Something that's almost tangible, and it's not something that you see in other environments. That is what kept me going back again and again and again. Oh, I should also say the new ideas. Like I always go and I hear these 99-second pitches and I get a chance to see like where do just kind of like learning about like where does the big expansive ideas come from, and then you're always surprised by somebody's innovation that they're putting up on stage. And I love that aspect of it. It helps me keep it helps me step back from my world and have a much broader picture of what's happening.
Looking back on this journey of starting from a Google Doc to now an event, an ecosystem, a community that spans the world, it is truly touching. Not only hearing the stories of early Founders Live attendees and quite frankly my friends, that I've gotten to know over the years, their unique view on things, but as I find myself here in Oslo, Norway, I cannot help but look back with such a full heart of how we have taken a thought, a feeling, a creativity, and expanded and brought it to the world to empower, inspire, and encourage purposeful and creative entrepreneurship all over the world. I thank you all.